This week on the NewsHour, we've been focusing on the scourge of knife crime. Across the country, stabbings have sharply increased, and in the capital they have reached an all-time high. Tonight, an exclusive interview with football manager turned much-loved TV celebrity Harry Redknapp, who's been so shocked by the scale of knife crime, he's throwing his weight behind a campaign to tackle the escalating violence on Britain's streets. The campaign is run by Mark Prince, the father of a promising young footballer at one of Harry's former clubs, Queen's Park Rangers, who was stabbed in the heart and killed while trying to break up a fight outside his North London school. If he had lived, Kyan Prince would today be 28 and likely at the top of his footballing career. I'm joined now by Harry Redknapp and Kyan's father, Mark. And Mark, I think we start with you. Just remind us exactly what happened to your son.
My son was stabbed outside his school, May the 6th, 2006, May the 18th, outside Edgware Academy, trying to break up a fight. Stabbed out inside in front of hundreds of school kids. And
since then, you've been campaigning, you've been spending your life campaigning to tackle knife crime.
Driven, focused. We've got to save more young lives. We've got to stop parents from this grieving. We've got to change mindsets of young people. That's the focus.
And Harry, you're getting involved now. Is that because you've been so shocked by the scale of what's happening on our streets?
Yeah, I mean, I first met Mark at the Spirit of London Awards many years ago, and I was just really taken out what an amazing man he was, you know, and how he'd willing to dedicate his life to trying to help fight knife crime, having lost his own boy at such tragic circumstances. So this was way before sort of the recent, you know, me going and doing whatever I did in the jungle. We've been talking about this for a long time.
That's right.
And so it was always a case of, I'm here to help Mark in any small way I can. I'm going to be available for him if he needs me, because what he does, he is the man. He does what he's done is amazing. And I would just, you know, want to dedicate my time, and if I can, to help him in any small way. We've got to do something about it, Mark. You know, every day we pick up the paper, there's innocent kids, there's kids who are getting stabbed. It's just an epidemic at the moment that we need to do something about, you know.
And you're prepared, are you, to go into young offenders institutions, juvenile prisons with Mark,
of course,
schools,
yeah,
social
absolutely.
clubs, to talk about this? What would you say to these young people?
Well, we've got to do. Mark would explain it, sure, much better. It's not the thing. Why carry a knife? You know, I know they probably say, Mark, it's to protect themselves because other kids carry knives, but there's got to be a way that we've got to stop everybody carrying knives. You know.
See, the way I look at this is the reason why I love this mix with me and Harry is because Harry represents a different demographic, influential people, somebody who has worked from the bottom up. So he has certain privileges now, he has an influence, and he's able to come into a room, and what somebody else couldn't do when they walk into a room, Harry could do. He could get the attention, he's got respect, from ages all the way from his age all the way down to young people. He's just captured a new audience with the jungle and everything that he's gone through. So a young audience finds him real, funny, just even like a granddad figure where they can relate to.
But Harry, why has it affected you like it clearly has?
Well, I just think, when I first met Mark, I sat down with a group of parents that night who had all lost kiddies. It wasn't just Mark, there was a whole group, and listening to their stories, it was just incredible. It was the most touching thing, I think. You know, I sat there and listened to all these lovely parents who had great kids who suddenly all got, you know, became victims of knife crime. Right. So I felt at that time, you know, I said to Mark, I would love to, if ever you need me, Mark, I'm always going to be, you know, I'd love to get involved with you and help in any way I can. And
we're just seeing, I should say, pictures from that awful day in May 2006 when Kyan was stabbed. And Harry, Kyan would now be, as I was saying earlier, what, 27, 28, possibly at the top of a Premier League career. You may have managed him.
Yeah, everybody at QPR spoke so highly of him. They said what a fantastic young talent he was, you know. Wow. A great young footballer and a great young man.
And Mark, you know, how do you approach this problem? I mean, what is it getting to these children when they're really young? Or what is
get
your
it, you
approach
get
to
it.
dealing with knife crime?
You get it. There's preventative measures. You've got to have intervention programs set up, but you got to hit the heart of young people. Young people want to have you engaging and understanding where they're coming from. So we're making this whole, what are the solutions to knife crime? So we can't change how the police are tackling communities, and there's that distrust. That's the police to take responsibility. We can't take responsibility for the government ignoring it and kind of doing things that sort of create this situation as well with low funding and taking away opportunities for young people. So if we haven't been able to tackle that, let's tackle what we can do for young people personally within the community, which is reaching out for them, creating opportunities for them to be able to thrive, changing that mindset, because it's all about the thinking. When you empower young people, you get them to understand that they need self-belief, because it was self-belief that changed my life. I was just one of them kids on the street, homeless at 15, wasn't going anywhere, got involved in the wrong company, doing the wrong things to make revenue. And then I began to change and believe that, wait, I haven't even tried another way. Why haven't I tried another way? Why haven't I given myself an opportunity? And look what I achieved, becoming #1 in the country, becoming #1 in the world for making an effort.
Yeah, as a boxer, I should say.
Yeah, yeah.
Well. But Harry, can you imagine what it is like for these parents that are hearing that their son has been stabbed to death?
No.
These are countless parents now. The
Yeah,
scale of it.
as I say, Mark, when you sit down and listen to the stories, it's heart-wrenching. You just cannot, the kids go out, they're waiting for their kid to arrive home, and suddenly they get a message that they've no longer got a son or a daughter or whatever. It's happening right across the board, isn't it? It is an horrendous, and something's got to be done. Every day we pick up the paper now and there's another kid getting stabbed.
And I'll tell you how powerful, Harry, is somebody like this coming forward. 72-year-old man. There's loads of people that are saying, oh, what can we do? Harry steps forward and says, well, I'll do whatever I can do. So Harry has connections. Harry has got opportunities for young people. So when we develop them, change their mindset, and we say to this young person, look, we've developed you, we've changed this mindset, you're good at football, here's we can be able to give you an opening to go for a trial or do something. And we got somebody on board that can help to give a young person opportunity. That's powerful.
Mark's done it with the boxing.
So you walk into a young offenders institution, or you walk into a school or a social club. What do you say to these kids who may be members of gangs where they say, well, we have to carry knives because
it's not the way to lead your life, Mark, and I think Mark would like to get them into boxing.
Exactly.
You've only got to read our greatest fighter, Anthony Joshua, admits he could have been going on the wrong road if he hadn't have, got into the boxing, and what a great role model he is now. And I'm sure there's loads of kids out there that you can turn their heads and get them to understand there is another way in life. Carrying knives is not what the thing
And
to
truth
do.
is self-evident. So Harry's self-evident of what can be done as a 72-year-old man and taking the right choices, making the right paths in life and saying, I'm here, I might not be your age, I might not be able to understand how you think right now on the streets, but I'm here to help create an opportunity. I'm here to encourage you. That's why I've taken my time out to be here. That speaks volumes to young people, that Harry would do that, and many other people out there. I'm not calling any names, but there's loads of people that can step forward and that are current with young people that isn't offering themselves to the Kind Prince Foundation.
Harry, to do things. So Harry, I mean, what's shocked me are the statistics about 20% of the children being found with knives are aged between 10 and 17. I mean, it's starting so young. What do you make of those statistics?
Yeah, I mean, they're carrying... We've seen a young boy of 14 get killed just a few weeks ago, haven't we? It's happening at schools. I mean, as Mark said, Kayam's 15 years of age at school, fight outside the school.
That's why going into schools is so important.
Getting into schools. And
that's why Inspiring Future Champions campaign is so important. And just having Harry's presence there means a lot to the young people, because they know his pedigree and who he's been around, the footballers and his level of management, his knowledge and skills. It's like Sir Alex Ferguson. I saw him doing a little film clip I watched with him in front of young people that were trying to build themselves up. The impact that he has on them as they look at his maturity and his experience is the same impact Harry's going to have on these young people who will want to aspire to become somebody.
And will sport play a role in this? You were talking about
for me,
boxing,
it will be. Yeah,
sport,
I mean, if we can help the, I'm sure there's loads of these kids out there who are taking the wrong road, take the right road. You look at a lot of today's young footballers. I'm sure they've been at that crossroads. A few of them would have been around mates. I was with a boy yesterday who's been a good player. He's just finished his career, but he told me growing up in Nottingham, he had friends who his best pals ended up in taking the wrong path, and he was lucky that he managed to. Football saved him, basically. Right. And there's loads of kids out there like that, Mark. You know, boxing, football, all kinds of sport that can make a change, make a difference to their lives.
And you're going to do your bit.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to try. I'll try whatever I can to help.
Why I wrote Prince of Peace, because it's a book full of the pain of what you've gone through in life, full of gripping through life to get to a point where you can come out the mess of the streets and become someone by using sports and boxing.
All right. Well, look, Mark, thanks very much indeed. Good luck with your campaign. And Harry, thank you for coming in.
He's an amazing man.
Yeah, well,
he
thank
really
you.
is.
Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.